YouTube is doing. What the fuck is YouTube doing? Hey, what's good, y'all? I'm sorry, I was reading something. Oh, man. What's good, everybody? So, I'm going to read. I was trying to wait for specific people to get in the chat. Um, I don't know. I'll put the link in there now because I'm just going to read. If they're not in there uh, to hear it, because they wanted to hear the part about karma, and I was trying to wait a little longer, but I don't, at the same time, I don't want to be on YouTube long, but I do want to read this. I'm gonna pin this to the top. If you want um copper engine, hey Trushu, you can copper engine, hit the link and I'll wait for you to come up because I know you know a lot about Buddha because you've been in it for like 35 years. So I'm gonna read and we're gonna start off with karma. Like I said, I'm gonna finish this book. We're gonna do karma. Then he's gonna talk about our precious human life and what is meditation. So I'm gonna read that now. I'm very serious about this, y'all. I take it serious. Um, as far as what I ingest in my gut. Matter of fact, I don't even need these on because ain't nobody on the panel. So I'm gonna start reading. I'm gonna try not to be on here past 3 hours. Okay. But I'm gonna start reading. How's everybody? I hope everybody's all right. Because I did promise that I would come on today and continue reading. Specific people wanted to hear this part of the segment, but I'm not gonna wait any longer because it's already 15 minutes into the segment. So I'm gonna go ahead and start reading. And what Buddha's saying about karma and what Buddha's saying about our precious human life and what is meditation. So we'll start off with karma. What does Buddha say about karma? Let me get my other two eyes on. Got to get them on. All right. So to understand the laws that govern rebirth from one life to another, we need to understand karma. Karma is a Sanskrit term meaning action. All intentional bodily, verbal, and mental actions are karma. Sometimes when Buddhists experience suffering, a misfortune, they say, "This is my karma," and accept it patiently. So in other words, I guess what he's saying is, um, when it's exactly what he says, when you're experiencing suffering or misfortune, they say, okay, this is my karma, and they accept it. They accept their karma. So strictly speaking, however, the suffering we experience is not actual karma, but the effect of karma we have accumulated either in previous lives or earlier in this life. All bodily and verbal actions depend on mental actions because they are preceded by a mental intention to act. Without an intention to act, we would do anything. Without an intention to act, we would not do anything. A mental intention, that is determination to perform an action, is a mental action or mental karma. Thus, bodily karma is bodily activity initiated by a mental action, and verbal karma is verbal activity initiated by a mental action. From this, we can see that mental karma is more important than either bodily karma or verbal karma. Smash that like, y'all. Whether an action is good, bad, or neutral depends principally upon the intention that motivates it. Good actions come from good intentions, bad actions from bad intentions, and neutral actions from neutral intentions. Good or virtuous actions are the main cause of rebirth in the higher realms and of future happiness, whereas bad or non virtuous actions are the main cause of rebirth in the lower realms and of future suffering. This dependent relationship between actions and effects, virtuous actions causing happiness and non virtuous actions causing suffering, is taught by the Buddhists based on their perfect knowledge. We must believe it because conviction in the laws of karma is the root of future happiness. Every action we perform leaves an imprint on our very subtle mind, and each imprint eventually gives rise to its own effect. Our mind is like a field, and performing action is like sowing seeds in that field. Virtuous actions sow seeds of future happiness, and non virtuous actions sow seeds of future suffering. These seeds remain dormant in our mind until the conditions for them to ripen occur, and then they produce their effect. In some cases, this can happen many lifetimes after the original action was performed. The seeds that ripen when we die are very important because they determine what kind of rebirth we will take in the next life. Which particular seed ripens at death depends on the state of mind in which we die. If we die with a peaceful mind, this will stimulate a virtuous seed and we will experience a fortunate rebirth. However, if we die with an unpeaceful mind, such as in a state of anger, this will stimulate a non virtuous seed and we will experience an unfortunate rebirth. This is similar to the way in which nightmares are triggered. Oh, somebody joined the panel. Hang on, y'all. Ah, I gotta put this on. I'm sorry. I didn't even know you was down there, bro. How you doing? I was in the middle of reading. I gotta finish.
No, please continue. Please continue.
Okay, so I left off at. All right. Let me see. See. Hang on. Hang on. Okay. However, if we die with a peaceful mind, such as in a state of anger, this will stimulate a non virtuous seed and we will experience an unfortunate rebirth. This is similar to the way in which nightmares are triggered off by our being in an agitated state of mind just before falling asleep. There are six realms in which it is possible to take rebirth: three lower realms and three higher realms. The three lower realms are the animal realm, the hungry spirit realm, and the hell realm. The three higher realms are the human realm, the demigod realm, and the god realm. These are described in more detail in the new meditation handbook. Virtuous actions or good karma are the main cause not only of rebirth in the higher realms of humans and gods, but also of happiness and good fortune in general. Thus, if things go well for us in this life, if we have good health, comfortable living conditions, and good relationships with others, or if we meet with success in our activities, this is our previous good karma ripening. Similarly, success in our spiritual practice and all our spiritual attainments are the result of virtuous karma. On the other hand, all the suffering we experience in this life, such as sickness, poverty, conflict, accidents, and harm from human beings and non human beings, is the result of our own past negative karma. Damn. But you know what? I swear I believe that. I believe that to be true. I don't know why, but it makes sense. What's your thought on that?
It should make sense.
That makes sense to
It
me.
should. Well, I have to be. just to erase all the other things out of it, to keep it simple, why can't you be a good person? There's nothing
That's
stopping you from
true.
being a good person.
Hey, Darvis, that's true. That's
There is
true.
nothing
But
blocking you from being a good person.
that is
You
correct.
have to trust what people you have to trust what people show you and take them at face value. For real. It shouldn't be no sweat off your brow or your back to say I'm not dealing with that.
That's true
It's just
too.
you being just being a genuine person.
The link is at the top, Darvis. But I mean, but if you're really listening to it, what this says, straight smoke.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
I guess I guess straight smoke. It says, on the other hand, all the suffering we experience in this life, such as sickness, poverty, conflict, accidents, and harm from human beings and non human beings is a result of
Hmm.
our own past negative karma. And I don't, hey, Superman, and I don't know why I believe that to be true because it just makes sense. I mean,
Yeah,
we spend a lot of time straight smoke as YouTubers talking about discussing our ancestors and things of that nature. But we don't know what type of ancestors we had. Were they these evil ass people?
bingo. There we go. That's exactly what I'm saying. And if you want to, if anyone wants to say that all of us was a kumbaya type deal, it wasn't.
The
It
link
just
is pinned to the
generally
top.
wasn't. You
Yeah,
know, and
I'm
I want to
beginning
go
to
back
really
to what
think
you
that.
said. I want to go back into what you said when they was talking about the sowing of seeds. Those are your children. If you have a
Hmm.
child in a bad state in your mind, guess what that child will exhibit?
Yeah,
It sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, it's for real.
yeah,
It really is. Because guess what? You're going to always show that child that side of you. That's what they're looking for. See, when you sow seeds, especially children, it are your seeds. You have to look at the metaphor for what they're actually putting out. So if you give off a negativity into your seeds because at that time you was in a negative state of thinking or thought or pattern, guess what? It passes down. That is a clear market blanket thing that happens. Now you are absolutely correct. Or any of these people, just some evil mother, just some evil people. You gotta really take that in consideration. You really have to look at that. How many genuine people it was, and how many sellouts was there. Look at it, because that's what I would when you said people that just had ill will, because that's what I call it,
mm.
ill will. That means that you have to have the same amount of people to me personally. You have the same amount of genuine people to me that you had as sellouts. You got it. I'm sorry.
No, no, I'm listening because that makes sense too. I mean, but if we're looking at our own individual family members, as the elders that are alive and those that passed away, um, hey, Othello and Darvis and Super, y'all, the link is pinned to the top. I often ask myself, what type of people we were, because if we're acting the way we act today as seeds of those seeds, you know,
Mm,
I, I mean, and if we're looking at it from Buddhist perspective, the karma, I don't, just by the way our people act when you're talking about the NAACP. I mean, they're a group of fucked up people and fucked up leaders. And a lot of our family members aren't so great because they were fighting each other back then over land and, not coming to agreements. I mean, I don't see all of our families being great people. to work with.
So
Today,
if
straight smoke, it's more difficult to work for people that look like us than to work for foreigners.
if I may, I'm only saying this out of pure love. Pure love. We have to be totally clear about a couple things. Look at what you have seen from 1966 on up. That was just it was an influence from the federal government. That's all it was. That's all it was. A lot of things that they say is, well, we gave you the choice. That's what the end game of, if you try to come at the government like that, they're gonna say that they gave you a choice. It's not our fault that you did not know what your choices were. For real. For real. You get down to it, brass taxes with them, they're gonna say that, oh no, we covered ourselves. Did you cover you? And they're gonna you're gonna have to provide proof. But what I learned from you, it is their job to provide the proof because it worked. It worked. It genuinely worked. You have to provide. Tell me, where am I African from? Give me that. I'm
Right.
saying that
It's their burden
everything,
of proof. If they're
right? What I'm
imposing
saying,
those,
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
no, 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 no. I'm listening. You got it. Sorry.
It's just that what they're saying is that a lot of people are self-inflicted, and they done it generations on down. Self-infliction. You know good and damn well that you're not about to let your at the time. Are you gonna let your daughter watch Freddy Krueger when it first came out? No, no, because that's not no child's movie. They made it to where it was softness put into it to say, well, the FCC ain't gonna say nothing about this. The FCC used to stand on everybody's neck. Now it's free range. So allowed people to perverse a lot of people's way of thinking. They manipulated people. They really manipulated people into making them situations even worse. And I believe that was done over generation to generation to generation, because you have to be taught that. You got to be taught that.
The link is pinned to the top. Anybody that want to come on the panel. Okay, straight smoke. But speaking in specifically in terms of karma, in terms of karma, of course, is what goes around comes around. Okay, what you dish out, you get it back. Maybe not in this life, the next life. And speaking in terms of karma, as I see our people today, I don't see a I, I don't see them being these smooth people to deal with. Seriously, from a professional level, from a business level, I don't see our people as being that type. Our people are very difficult to deal with. And I'm sure if they're difficult today, they had to be difficult in the past.
Most, but not all.
Because why would we even be suffering today as a people if our people didn't impose harsh harsh life on us?
But they did.
Correct.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, they did, because
And it's
they
because
sold
their
out.
actions.
They didn't stand up and say nothing, and they sold out. Over time, you're going to bend over pressure. Everybody, every single government across the world knows this. You're gonna bend over pressure. I can't make this up. You know this. Governments
it-
have imposed these measures on its people. Each individual ones, however you want to look at it across the board. That's what they did.
okay, but what I'm saying, or what I'm saying, let me add to what I'm saying, and starting to realize is you have to look at us as a people, as a total, as a whole. If you go in every state, we're the only race of people that don't have businesses like that. And those that do, we don't know shit about them. Like literally, I don't know any businesses
Mm.
of people of my descent or my in my community that literally owns a successful, very successful business. The only people we hear about are um rappers, like in singers. I'm not hearing like no chain stores owned by our people. And we're the only race of people that are not in that position. We're we're the only race. Okay. We have thousands of different cultures here of people. And everybody that comes over here make it. Everybody that comes to that border, they might come in barefooted, but when they get in, they excel. We've been here and never been anywhere else. What the fuck is our excuse today? Okay, all of our dead ancestors that were evil, if they may have been, because I never met them here. There is like nothing. We're the only race that there's nothing for. So if you want to call us black, we are blackout. We've been blacked out
That's
by the
powerful.
same
Sister
fucking party.
Beverly,
Huh?
Sister
That's
Beverly,
powerful.
Huh?
the devil is busy. They have taken you away from your Zen studies, got you on this victimhood. Let's go back to reading the book. Straight Smoke has a lot of issues, and misery loves company. Ain't nothing wrong with black people. We're doing all right. We're actually doing better than most people in the world. We're at home. We good. Don't go
Yeah.
down this dark road with this man and this
Well, no,
complaining about somebody doing something to us.
well,
What?
I mean, he wasn't blaming the white guy on us because I'm not even allowing that on the panel. Where I'm talking about the actions. You don't think that as a people that we are suffering the actions of our own ancestors?
No, 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 man. We're the
Huh?
number one grad. No, ma'am. We're the number one graduates of higher education today. We spend more money than most countries in the world. We're doing better than most people think. So I don't know about this nefarious plot against
Hmm. Keep
black
going.
people, but
Keep
nah.
going.
Well,
Uh-uh.
when I say us, I mean us. I don't mean the other people with brown skin who
No, yeah,
society
American,
right. Society
the
continues to confuse.
Aboriginal, Indigenous American.
Right. But society, I mean, it's like politicians in the government really need to understand that there's a difference between us and other brown people. We're not the same. And they look at us and being the same. And we're trying to get them, the politicians, from seeing all of us with brown skin as the same people because we are not.
They
They
This
don't.
know
is
that.
how,
I mean, that's why they have different categories when you filling out applications and signing up and stuff. They know. It's not a.
They
Not,
know.
yeah,
Right.
they
That's
know.
I'm way past a lot of shit. Hey, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I get exactly what you're saying, but at the same time, all I'm harping about is accountability and the man and woman is accountability right there. That's all I'm talking about. Because with the one
What do
thing
you
that needs to
mean?
happen, because what needs to happen, it needs to be a accountable man and woman to make a family. Some people have degeneracies, bro. They do too much. They outside they mean for
Who?
real.
Well, let me ask you a question. Y'all was talking about right and wrong earlier. Who
Yeah, he was talking
determines
Right and
what's
about
right and
wrong.
karma.
wrong? Who, who,
Right or
who
wrong. What?
determines what's right and wrong? No, but you was saying degeneracy, so there's a judgment.
It's
How
not a
do you?
judgment.
Where's the bar? You said degeneracy. That's a judgment.
Correct. That is not a judgment.
Okay, so who determines what's right and wrong?
You do.
Well, then, so whatever people doing is right to them. So leave them
Accountability.
alone, bro.
I'm not saying
They're
I
not
don't have no
accountable
right
to
to do that.
you, bro. You're not
All
a
I'm saying,
god. There's
all
nobody
right,
to
hold on,
be
hold on.
accountable to.
Stop. I didn't say that.
So who are
I
they
didn't say
supposed to
that.
be
You're
accountable
you're
for,
you're
bro?
looking at it from your themselves.
Well, then,
Themselves.
so
I'm
who
not
are
saying
you?
I have a problem. Did you hear me say I had a problem with anybody?
Of course, you just said it's too much degeneracy, and that's why the family ain't what it is. And I heard you talk about these people coming around doing something and playing on black people.
Did-
Come on, bro.
I guess you didn't hear what I said then. Okay. You can
You're
take it
trying to
as
be a
face value.
judge and say right or wrong for everybody.
Again, what I'm gonna say is you can have your opinion. What I'm trying to tell you is accountability. All I was saying in the
To who?
interim, reason. Hold on, brother. Let me finish. The reason I chimed in and she was talking about Buddha and karma. Okay, and Buddha and karma was talking about the souls that you see and the benefits you can be from being positive or negative. Did you catch that part?
Okay, here's
I'm at,
let. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna highlight and read what
I'm
I.
just asking, like, who determines right and wrong?
I've already answered that, but go ahead, Sister Bethany.
I didn't hear the answer because y'all saying that our ancestors was wrong for whatever they was doing, and we're reaping the benefits. Am I not? Or reaping the
Nobody said that.
consequences? So
Well, from a,
Nobody said that. Nobody
I'm
said
no,
that.
I
asking.
That is clear.
no. He's asking. I think what Super is saying, and I might be right and I might be wrong. I don't know. Whatever horrible things our ancestors did, we are in their next life, which is us, because we're the seeds after them. That is imposed on us. Is basically what I was saying, and I'll read this, and maybe you can help us out with this, Superman. It says, on the other hand, all the suffering we experience in this life, such as sickness, poverty, conflict, accidents, and harm from human beings and non human beings, is the result of our own past negative karma. So, who would be our past? Wouldn't that be? It could it be us in a earlier life, as young people, or our ancestors. So, what is your thought?
But um, if you taking it on a group, you can't do it on the group. It got to be on an individual because if you under the understanding that your life continues, your mind, you, a single entity, dead body, go on, get to another body. Correct?
Yeah. Okay,
So how
yeah.
is that a group? See what I'm saying? You saying that our ancestors did something. No, it's individual. Whatever you did in your previous life, if you under this understanding, it's you gonna so it's not a group. It's not like everybody is gonna stay together. You're a single entity.
Okay. Yes, I am a single entity. But okay, when you
So how
look
you
at it,
saying as a group acting affects the entity because the timeline gonna shift. You're not gonna die at the same time Straight Smoke gonna die. So your karma or your mind is gonna go forward, and his is gonna stay where it is until it's his time. So the group is not gonna stay a group. If I'm understanding.
Is it possible I can get in there
So,
real quick?
oh, oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
go ahead. I could wait.
No, ma'am. Go ahead. It's your
No,
show.
no, no.
No, ma'am.
I can wait. No, no. Go ahead.
Well, what I'm really looking at is because if you look at the timelines that she's talking about tutelage. What the kids were taught coming up. She's talking about the tutelage that was passed down throughout the millennia. So if you
No,
had
man,
somebody that was never
karma. It's individual. Your individual actions cannot be put on somebody else. What you do only affects you as far as
So,
karma. It can't come back to anyone else but you. Like if you go out and you do some heinous shit, it gotta come back just to you. Or if you go out and do a whole bunch of good shit, it has to just come back to you. It can't go to anyone else. It's your actions.
so am I basically, if I'm suffering in poverty and just have no blessings or luck, perhaps I was bad in a previous life myself.
There you go. Right. It can't be a group did anything. The karma is personal, it's individual entity. Because then you can
Okay,
blame
so
somebody else.
so with that being said, there's so many of our people that are in poverty, that are suffering and can't get their feet over the hump, or they're denied basically everything. So, and I see this visually in my own eyes. So that means all of them were horrible. Each individual one of them that are suffering in the hoods, each individual have had a negative past.
If you got along this right line of thinking, yes.
Okay, so that's across the 50 states. So, wow. That's a lot. So
Because you
we're
can't
now,
act for someone else, right? You can't act for anyone else. Like if you
correct.
go to work or whatever, you don't want your check to just to go to everybody. You want your check to come to you. Same
Right.
with actions and mental. You put out a positive thing and you do something good, and you understand that that's not going to lead to anything negative because you haven't put anything negative out.
So when exactly does that karma break? Are like, if what Buddha is saying, that karma doesn't break until you die, you're like punished your whole next life until, and then you get another life.
I mean, they say, the punishment fits the crime type of
Hmm.
thing.
Wow. That's painful. So it's been so long. It's been for a very long time that we see a lot of our people suffering. So now
I mean, but
the
that's what I'm
people,
saying. The judge, you still in the judge seat. You say they suffering. Talk to them and see if they suffer.
they are. That's why I'm reading about this, because it's so
Uh,
infinite. It's like it's so infinite, because if you go across the 50 states,
okay, think of it like
and
this. Think of it like this, Sister Betty. You got a guy, right? Star athlete. Already understand I am a gladiator. My body is gonna be broken. Everything's gonna be, but the glory that I'm gonna receive is what I really care about. Now you see him 50, 60 years old. He's laying around, and you look at him and say, "Oh, he's suffering," right? But is he really? According to you, your perspective, you see suffering, but the individual himself don't consider it suffering. It's just the price I had to pay for the glory that I got. So
So
you,
you don't see,
you got to
okay.
step out of the judge seat and say, "Well, I see suffering because according to Buddhism, it's always a return, right? If I'm a god, so to speak, I might want to experience that suffering. I have that choice just to see how it feels."
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm expecting some tornadoes to get through here real quick. I really have to go. It's about to get live real quick. Do apologize, Sister Beth.
Oh, okay. Oh, damn. All right. So, all right. I understand. Maybe that was a bad explanation you just gave, Superman. Because if
Why?
somebody, well, I was thinking more in the line of, all right, you gave an explanation for, and straight smoke. I hope everything is all right during that tornado. I hope it just bypass you and your family. Prayers. I was thinking more along the lines of our people. It's been many, many years that our people have not been able to be granted things that foreigners are granted when they come over here. When they come over here, when foreign people not from this land come over here, they're able to excel off our tax dollars. On the other hand, we're all working very hard and still can't achieve the things that they have achieved, like nice homes, you know, nice communities. We're not able to accomplish that. And if we are, it hasn't
Well,
happened because
but
there's been
you're
a
still looking
the-
out on. You're still looking from the outside looking in.
but I have to. No, do you really think everybody that lives in the hood enjoy living in those conditions? That's not a happy
No,
condition.
I'm not saying that. But listen, this is what I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna ask you this. Now, you gotta pack up you and Big Willie. Y'all gotta pack up and leave the country. Go to another country.
Mm.
Start over. You ain't kin to
No,
nobody over there. I'm saying, listen to the question.
I can't.
You
Uh,
you gotta pack up and go to another country and start your whole life over. You good?
No, I disagree
That's
with
what
that.
these people had to do. They
Well,
had to.
they had to do that, but
Right.
opportunity they had to do that, but we should not have to do that in our own
No,
country.
I'm saying who's in a better situation? The person in the hood, call grandma, goes know everything, have access to everything that they actually need. Then a person who got to pack up and go to a whole nother country just to survive. Who's in a better position?
That person that coming from another country because they didn't work their ass off to get it. We work as United States citizens, and I'm not just talking about us, okay? But I
Right.
know that there's other races of people that are in that same position. But for the sake of the segment, I'm only speaking about my specific community. Okay.
Right. Your
Now,
community.
right. Our
Your
community.
community is intact. It's been intact for two, 300 years,
No,
right? No?
no, no, no.
Oh, where has it
They're
been?
getting leftovers. They're getting leftovers. They're not. They're getting poor education. Okay. We've been We have not been given
All right.
our liberties, and no, no, we have been an ignored population of people, and that's a fact.
Okay.
When
I
foreigners
mean,
come over here,
that's
when
one
foreigners come over
perspective.
here, no, when foreigners come over here, okay, they go to public schools. Okay, let's say that. But they go to the better public schools. They don't go to
But
ours.
they're not at home. They're not at home.
Right. They're
Okay, if
somewhere
somebody
else.
take you,
Yeah.
somebody
Okay,
take
but
you, Sister
Superman,
Beth, and put you
they're
in the.
they're surviving and excelling off of our tax
They're
dollars.
not at
How come
home, Mama. It's a
they don't have to?
difference.
They don't have to be at
You'd
home.
rather eat off your old crusty plate and pot at your mama house than go to a fancy fly restaurant that you don't like the food.
Mm-mm.
They not at home. They had to leave their homeland because it
Yeah.
was destroyed or messed up. So whatever
Okay.
accommodations that they get in America, they can never be doing better than somebody who's at home. It
That's
don't make
false.
sense to me.
That's false. That's
Okay.
false. Superman. You don't see.
I mean, I
I'm
just
not
have a
saying,
different perspective. It's home.
but Superman, literally, seriously, they're coming. Like you said, they're leaving their country from impoverished conditions or suffering conditions, and they're stepping on our soil. And guess what? When they get over here, they're able to excel off of our tax dollars.
Change.
They do. They live in
I'm
a
saying
nice.
if you go home with these people, you go home with these people. Just because they're in that fancy house, they not at home. See what I'm
That's
saying?
well, I wouldn't be at home either if the red carpets rolled out for me somewhere else. And
It's
when
just
you
like
say
having a celebrity.
no,
It's just like having a celebrity who hate their life. They got everything that they can ask for. People waiting on them hand and foot, but they're suffering because they can't go home.
so what? They can't go home. That's not our problem. At the end of the day, they can come over here and they excel over the people that have been suffering in this country for
Impossible.
hundreds of years. Secondly, they can walk
I just don't see people suffering. I don't
okay,
see people suffering like that.
they are. They are. They are.
Who?
When you come
Who's
over here, no,
suffering?
Superman, no. When you come over here,
I'm saying,
and all
Sister
right,
Bessie, where are the black people that's suffering? They just in dire poverty. Where are they?
that's suffering in our inner
Where?
city, in our inner cities,
Where?
that lifestyle that they have to live. They have to live under gang violence. They have to live and don't know if their child that's going to the store to get a loaf of bread and a gallon of milk is going to come back home because some
Sister Bessie.
cop thought that they did something. No, these are the conditions we got to live in.
Sister
In the
Bessie.
same,
Look,
no, I ain't finished,
Sister Bessie.
Superman. I'm not
Okay,
finished.
go
I'm
ahead.
not finished. I'm not finished. And
I'm
you
sorry,
got to
go
let me
ahead.
finish. What I'm
Okay,
saying
go ahead.
is,
I'm sorry.
here's what I have a problem with coming over here, excelling off of our fucking tax dollars. Okay. Secondly, those people that come over here and excel off our tax dollars. And then we go as a people and try and borrow or get some of our tax dollars so that we can excel a little bit where we denied. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. A lot of us work and pay taxes. We're in different tax brackets, but we still work and we're denied. And it is crushing to see somebody else who has not paid in the fucking system come over here and reap off our tax dollars. And the same motherfuckers that allow them to excel are the same motherfuckers that to turn around and deny us. I got a problem with that. These motherfuckers can come over here and open a business in our fucking communities. But when our people ask to go and open up something in our own communities off our own tax dollars, we're fucking denied. That is wrong. Some type of horrible tornado or thunderstorm need to come down and blow up this whole fucking government, because that's wrong to do to people who've been paying taxes for life. That's wrong. It's wrong when somebody is not from my fucking country can come in here and open up a business down the street that Johnny been trying to open for years, and he'd been denied years and years and years to open up a store in that same spot. But somebody who's never been here or paid in the system could come in and walk in that fucking same spot, and next thing you know, it's opened up, and he's selling things out of that same spot. And that's wrong. And you don't see the wrong in that. I don't give a fuck if they left home. The point is, the bitch came over here. The government said, oh, sure, you can open up a store right here. But when the very people that live in that community go and say, hey, I want to open up this store, they're denied. That's wrong. And I don't know how you can't see that. You got it. And I'm going to mute and listen and let you talk.
Sister Betty, we were studying Buddhism, and this devil came up here and switched the narrative. Please, let's get back to Buddhism.
That's what I was reading about in Buddhism. The karma. That's what I was reading about. So who is the one responsible to deliver the karma? Is it the government? Because there's somebody who's trying to. That's what I'm
Whoa.
asking, and I don't understand. Maybe we're both
No,
using the
no.
wrong choice word.
The universe is always balanced. The universe is going to deliver the karma. You're going to deliver your own karma by your actions and your thoughts. You can't get something that you didn't put out. That's what it's about.
Okay.
If you put
So
some bad stuff out, you can't get nothing good back. That's what it's about. You can't.
okay. So in this instance, basically, you're saying that the local government or federal government is dispersing the karma, because you got somebody.
No, that's
No,
not what I'm
I'm telling
saying.
you. I'm telling that must be, isn't it? You got to be saying that, because here I'm going to say it
No.
again. Somebody
The
come from another
government has
country.
nothing to do with your karma. Your karma
Okay,
is
so
on your actions and your
okay, so
thoughts.
what do you call that? What do you call that when somebody who's never been in this country before, okay, they come over here and they're given the opportunity to open up a fucking weed store on our block, all right? And somebody else from that same community wanted to open up a store, not a weed store, just a nice store that fluctuates business, is denied. So, what do you call that denial? What do you call that? What is that? And the money that this foreign person is profiting off is our tax dollars. But the person down the street that's been paying taxes all his life is denied. What do you call that? Is the government denies him? So is that karma? What do you call that? What
Yeah, yeah,
position is that?
yeah. I'm confused because we're talking about individual thoughts and actions and not like what the government is doing. The government
Okay.
can't stop. The government can't stop you if you're a good person, so to speak. If you're a good person and you put out good things and you work hard and you dedicate yourself to accomplishing something, the government can't stop you from doing it.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a scenario. Miss Jean Pittman was always a nice lady. She went to church every Sunday. She worked all her life in a restaurant. Now she's 40 years old. She wants to open up a store where she could serve the community, sell things to the community. Right? She's paid taxes for the 25 years that she's worked. Okay? Never been in trouble, never had issues. And there's a nice spot down the street that she wants to open up that's just been sitting there abandoned. She goes to the government and say, "Hey, I think I could really generate some great revenue for the community, generate revenue and also be a great taxpayer." She's denied. Soon as a fucking Julio or whoever the fuck comes across the border, he comes and acts basically the same thing. Automatically approved, automatically put in nice housing, automatically receiving food stamps and funds. He's approved to open up that joint, and he's never been on the land or never paid 1 cent into the Social Security system or taxes. What do you call that? Remember, Miss Pitt didn't do anything bad. She was always a good soul. What do you call that?
Well, listen, you gotta keep uh, all things in where they proper place. Just because you go to church and you're a good moral person doesn't make you a good business person. So you go to apply for a loan and you go in there and tell them that you're a church lady, they're gonna ask you about your business. Julio might show up with a full business plan, laid out, numbers, and everything. So, Miss Jane Pittman, as a good person, lived in the community, went to church all the time, don't know nothing about
And she
business.
paid taxes and wanted to open her own business. She paid
Like that.
taxes all her life. I said that. And then she got
Right.
denied
People
for the
in
same
hell
thing.
want ice water. People in
Okay.
hell want ice water. Just because you want something, you don't get it just because you want it. That,
It's
I don't know
not
what
a
kind of
matter of
world that
wanting it.
is.
They have a right.
I don't know what
She's
kind of
been
world
over
that
here.
exists.
She has more proof of being over here, being a tax-paying citizen
Proof
than
is not.
Julio who jumped the border, and we don't know what the fuck he did. He could have been a
That's not the
pedophile, anything.
That's
They
not.
don't they don't they don't have anything on his
Go ahead.
background, yet this motherfucker could come in the community and open a store. That's wrong, yo. He's approved for everything. They don't know his background or nothing. The motherfucker ain't never paid 1 penny into our system. I don't see how you feel that you don't see the wrong in that. The government denied its own citizen who's
That's why
been
I was
here for
asking you,
1,000 years.
like, who's determining right and wrong? That's what my
I
initial
said the
question
government.
was.
That in this case, it would be the government. Is the government not wrong? Have not wronged a citizen who's been here, or
I'm
did he pay
asking you,
favoritism to
like,
somebody?
how are you looking and saying that this is wrong? Like,
Peace, peace. I
Peace.
think it's karma, just like you said
That's
earlier.
wrong.
It's karma. If
So
we
the
look back at
government's
our history, we look at the history of the government, our government back in the exact spectrum when we ran it. The things we was doing to these so-called white slaves, things we were doing to each other was fucked up. So now, karma. We getting dealt like that. We threw it on, we put it out in the universe, now it's coming back on us. We gonna have to wait it out until the karma's over.
okay. So can you? Because I haven't done any research, Darvis or Superman, on how we treated white people as slaves. Do you have any proof or something you could present to me that when we were in power, we treated them as bad
yeah,
slaves?
Bap guy. That's why I be saying
I need
that.
to see something.
There's a PDF
Bap
called
guy,
"There's a White
I
Mother."
don't have it, but Bap has it. And I'll get it from him about doing things to they servants, stomping them into jelly. One slave owner literally stomped the little white baby into jelly. It's documented. That's where I get that from. They did raping and all this. It's documented. But I'm
Okay.
not saying that's why we in the situation we in. But if
Nigga,
you
that's
going
what
with
it
the
is.
karma thing, I mean, that could be playing a part in it, like Darwin is saying.
There's a PDF called "They Were White and They Were Slaves." And there's another one called Gales Milton White Gold.
Well,
There's another one
well, let me
called
ask you, Sister Betty. Oh, go ahead, Darwin. I'm sorry.
I'll give it a couple sources or resources, whatever. You might go back and read up on it.
Yeah,
And Bridges
Sister
wrote a
Betty.
whole.
Let me ask you this: do you think that so-called black people are these angels that we never did
Hell no.
anything in the world?
Hell
So,
no.
like,
I told you that our people are
wait,
the most
wait a minute,
difficult, difficult.
Sister Betty, hold
Oh,
on, wait a minute,
I'm telling you, our people, and I
talk
can
to me.
attest to that. I
Okay,
can
well
attest
then, if you know that we have that in us and we have done things, why are you looking around saying that these people are being treated unfair?
okay, I'll say this. Now, I can truly say that in my experiences in my life, that our people are the most difficult people to work for and please. I can say that. When you work, I have witnessed this, and I'm not the only one that working under the supervision of people that look like us, our own people. They're more
Uh-huh.
difficult to deal with. They're more difficult to work for, and it's
Uh-huh.
always an issue. It's always an issue when it's paycheck time. You work twice
But
as
then make it
hard.
make sense.
Okay,
Make it make
now
sense.
I'm not, but I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
I know, but you're
Now
saying that these people are suffering in the hood and they living in poverty and it's
I'm not talking
unfair.
about. Wait, I'm not talking about people that are bosses that live in the hood. I'm talking about, and I'm gonna use modern day language. Professional black people that look like me are the most difficult people to work under. They are cruel. Okay, they are over white. Okay, they are when our people get in political positions, they're more white than white people. They are the worst. I will never work for someone that looks like me. I'd have it worse than working for a white man. And I'm keeping it a buck. I'm being very serious. Now, that's not the guy that lives in the fucking hood. That's the white nigger. That's the brown guy that want to be white so fucking bad. That's the guy I'm talking about that's difficult to work with. There are different levels of our people. You have our people that try to be Caucasian. Okay. The- they are the most difficult people to work for because that's the guy that looks like us that's always trying to please the white man. They always want a pat on their shoulder from the white man. They're literally pussies. Let's just put it out there. Now, I'm talking about the good person in the hood, not me, the good person in the hood that's been working all her life, go to church, no bad record, that wants to open up a business in her own community to generate revenue and be a taxpayer for that municipality. She is denied. But then when somebody comes from over the border, automatic approve. Okay, got you. That's fucked up. That's not right. That's wrong. And the person that made that decision is the government. That's fucked up. And I don't see why and how you can't see the wrong in that, Superman and Darvis. You don't see the wrong in that, then there's something seriously wrong with you.
I understand what y'all
I
saying, man,
always
but
tell people there's something very wrong with me. I'm crazy. I'm
No, but
crazy.
I'm
Something
serious.
is
I'm
wrong
like,
with me
how?
because I can't see it. I can't see it that way.
Okay. It's been constant like that.
I don't
The,
understand how you come into
the
that
denials have been
conclusion. I
constant.
don't
The
understand.
denial, Superman, the denials being on the border of the community I used to live in. All right. I don't live
Oh,
in the
so
hood.
you talking about like just your community? Because in my community, we got a grocery store called Watkins. They've been there forever. They going down because
Honey,
the people getting
I'm
old and they
I'm
don't
speaking
want to.
for
But
a lot of.
that's a grocery store's chain in the hood. It's been
Okay,
there
I'm
for
speaking.
100 years, about
Okay, you're
80
talking about
years.
one instance, and I'm talking across globally across the 50 states. Okay. So what? You pulled out one grocery store chain. But I'm talking throughout my life now. I'm 58 years old, and I've seen this denial time and time and time again. The people that live in their own communities can't open up a business in their own fucking communities, but foreigners can come in our communities and flourish, open up a business.
Mm.
That's a real reason
I,
to burn down a fucking store that got approved to be open. Okay. And you constantly, people in your own in that same community have been denied time and time and time again by the local municipality and the state. I'm serious. I'm surprised they haven't burned the fucking business down so that it can't prosper, because that's a smack in the face to the people that's trying to build up a revenue generating community. That's fucking wrong. That's
Yeah, it's
wrong.
crazy, man. It's crazy. Don't get me wrong, but that
And
goes
I'm not
back to
just
the
I
saying in
original.
my
don't.
community. It's
I mean,
it's
I just
across
disagree with you. I mean, it's
it's across
cool.
the
We
50
can
states.
disagree.
Yeah, we can disagree, but that's fucked up to do to a people in their own community. We don't go in white communities, okay, and open up businesses. We don't. But it's okay for them to come in our communities and open up businesses. That's wrong.
Yeah, but it is though, mama. It is. And then
I don't see how you can't see if that's wrong. Now, we talk about how lazy people are in our community. They're lazy. They don't want no job. They don't want. But the ones that do have been denied for the last 40 fucking years. I'm 58. They've been denied opening business in their own community for the last fucking 40 years. I watched this.
I would say 100 and something years
And people that don't
since
live
things
in
changed.
our community can come in there and open up a fucking business at the snap of a finger. That shit is wrong. Now, to the lazy motherfucker that don't want to do nothing, I don't pity him. But somebody who wants to really get out there and do something honestly and building their community is consistently denied. In my view, I've witnessed this, and I'm not the only one who have witnessed this across the states. That's wrong.
Yeah, and I agree with you too. But like you said, man,
You,
all that
you and
karma.
I, Superman, we always talk about the lazy nigga. We ain't got no pity for him. But I'm talking about those that want to get out and do something in their community positive, constantly being denied.
Oh,
But
I
somebody,
haven't had that experience.
well,
You
you
gotta
haven't
understand,
had
man.
that experience, but I'm telling you what's going on in the inner cities across the 50 states. It's very consistent.
I
I
live in
talk
the
about
fourth
it.
largest
I
city
talk
in the
about it.
world. I mean, in the
I talk
United
about
States.
it. Okay. I talk about this shit that goes on in my state.
Right, you
Somebody
gotta
talks
come down
about it.
south, mama.
Somebody talks about I talk about it in my state. People talk about it in other states. I mean, it's fucked up. It's not just my state that this shit is happening in. It's 50 more fucking states that is happening in. This
Oh,
is
I
it's
know.
bad.
Yeah, it don't happen like down there like it. It's
Well,
not like that down here.
I've talked to people in Tennessee and Texas who said that that's fucked up.
Right.
Tennessee, Texas, all the 50 states. Like I said,
Man, I know people opening
we
up
have
stuff
tribe
all
members,
the
and
time.
we have tribe members in all the 50 states, and we have these discussions, and it's the same shit. It's the same shit. Somebody could live in the suburbs and be white, okay? Can come right in our fucking community and open a business.
Because the government got to set up like that. They got to
And
make
that's
sure
wrong.
that
That's
they
wrong.
never fall back
Why
where
can't
they've
they
been
open
at.
in their own fucking communities? But they can come in our community, open business, and open one up in their own fucking community. That's wrong.
It's wrong, but it's business. Business mean
I'm
war.
serious.
Right. Business is
We have
business.
we have to talk to our people more than in our communities, if that's the case. If this is the case, because I sat and watched this shit for 40 years, the constant denials. So now we have to
So
talk to our
then,
people
let me
and
ask you
tell
this.
them, don't buy nothing out that
Can,
fucking store. And if that
can I ask you a
motherfucking store
question?
if that store burns down, don't call the fire department because they shouldn't be in your community anyway.
Yeah, but the
That's
insurance
wrong.
won't take
Oh,
that for
wait
like
a
that.
minute.
Give them
Wait,
insurance. I don't
please.
care. If
Right.
I saw that store, if
But
I let me tell you something.
let me
If
ask
I'm
you a
sitting
question,
there,
Sister Beth. Can I ask
hold
you a
up.
question?
Yep. After I
Okay, go
say
ahead.
this, Superman, if somebody that's not from our community is able to leave their community every day for 8 hours and open a business up in our community where our own people that's paying the taxes in that municipality cannot open up a business in that same community. If that fucking store catches on fire for any reason, I would direct my people not to call the fire engine. I don't give a fuck if the insurance company give them money and that the insurance company have to keep giving them money because that business will not prosper. And we'll make sure in the community that it doesn't because we'll tell our people, we'll pass out flyers saying do not buy from this fucking business because 25 people went and asked if they could open that same spot as a business, open up a business in that same spot, and they were denied. Okay. And the people that were denied have lived in this community for over 40 years and they were denied. But yet some white person was able to come in the fucking community and open it up right away. Fuck out of here. That's wrong. We don't go to white communities and open businesses. But for some reason, they could come right in our fucking hood and open up any fucking thing. Those businesses wouldn't prosper. It'll
Yeah,
be a
but they
night.
do because for some reason we spend our money with the motherfuckers.
Yeah, but we have to
Hold on. Let me
educate
ask
our
you a
people.
question.
We have to
Let me
educate
ask you a
our people.
question. Can I ask you a question, Sister Beth? Hello?
Yes.
Mic check.
Yes.
What do you mean by asking to open a business?
Okay. I'm going to say this again. Miss Jane Pittman been living in the community for 60 years.
No, right, I
Her
get that point.
family.
I'm saying
I'm
like
giving you the, no, I'm going to tell you the
who are they
whole story.
asking? Oh,
They have to go. The business that was abandoned for 15 years is now owned by the municipality. Miss Jane Pittman been living in the community for 60 years. Prior to that, her family have lived in that community for 30 years. They've been in that community, if you add up all the years together, at least 80 years. Okay. Miss Pittman worked all her life in other businesses. She was a great tax paying citizen, always paid her taxes out her paycheck, paid her rent or whatever. Was a nice church lady. Okay. Now she wants to open up her own business. Okay. So there's a spot that has been abandoned for like 15 years in which she and her nephews and family members could fix up so that she can make it a store slash restaurant. She was denied. Okay. Some white motherfucker comes in and opens up a similar business in the same spot. They got it automatically. Denied. Was not denied. The municipality that she's been in 80 years denied her, but let somebody else that don't even live in that fucking community come from across the motherfucking a few towns across. They were able to open it. That's fucked up. I don't see how you don't see the wrong in that. Because people in the chat give me a 1 and say if that was fair or unfair. If it was fair, If it was wrong, give me a 1. If it is what it is, if the government was wrong, give me a 1. If the government was right, give me a 2. Because now Miss Jane Pittman ain't the only one to ask for that same business, that a property that's been abandoned for 50 years. Other people in the same community with the same background as her were denied as well. But a white person came along and they were able to say, okay, yeah, you could open it up. The
But
municipality.
Sister
And you
Betty,
tell me that that's not wrong.
Sister Betty, the government doesn't regulate private business.
The local government, which is the municipality and the state,
Yeah,
approved her.
they don't regulate. They don't.
Yes, they do.
They don't
Yes, they
regulate
do.
private.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
but they
do.
hand out the
Okay.
permits
Yes,
and the
they do.
licenses though.
Because that abandoned
What?
property is
Oh man,
goes
y'all
to the
got it. Y'all right.
municipality.
I'm wrong.
That that's right. The abandoned property, if it's a business, if it's a business that was left abandoned, it goes to the municipality. They can either demolish it, or they could open it up or sell it to somebody. That's what it goes to the hand of the municipality, not the government. It's an abandoned structure, and the structure is in good condition. It's just been abandoned for 15 years.
Who abandoned it?
The previous owners who are dead.
Does the business have liens on it?
No, it's the ownership is consumed by the municipality. The
Well,
structure goes to the
if you
municipality.
don't have no liens on it, it's up to the government. Now, had it been a lien on it, whoever the lien holder was
No, there
could
was no
dictate.
lien on it.
But
It
if
was
there's no
owned.
lien on it, the government could dictate who they want inside there.
structure-
They issued a license.
The
So if they don't want to issue a license to us or no permit to us, then we can't get it.
The structure was abandoned, and the individual that owned it died. Therefore, the taxes were not paid for like 14 years. So eventually, it just goes in the hand of the municipality, and they have a right to either keep it or sell it or rent it out.
But that's one
Whatever they choose.
solitary like case. All cases are not like
No,
that.
no, no,
Like,
no, 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 no. We have these meetings in
okay,
Zoom, and we talk about
right,
this
okay.
in
You're right.
other states. In other states, we have YouTube is not my only demise for lecturing. We have meetings in Zoom about this. We talk about these things, and it's similar. It's like that across the board in the 50 states when it comes to
How long
people
y'all
that
been
live
doing that, Sister Betty?
5 years.
5 years. Can I ask a
Yes,
question?
sure.
What have y'all done about it?
What do you mean? What have we done about it?
Y'all have recognized the issue, a problem that you
Mhm.
deem as an issue. What have
Yeah.
you done? What have you
Well,
done about it?
one of the first things that we discussed was the need to get the Democrats out of power. And so we've been successful with that. However, depending on which state you're in, just because we get Democrats out of power at the federal level doesn't mean that they're out of power in their local states. My state is still blue. So we're always going to deal with predominantly Democrat mindset people. So we have to
Wait
turn
a
the
minute,
state.
Sister Betty.
Yeah,
You just
Connecticut is a
said you
Democrat
got them
state.
out on the federal level, so you can't get them out on the local level. You own it. Don't give up. I think you're smart enough to do it.
Okay. We have got him out at the federal level. We needed Biden out of power.
Right.
We needed to get
I
rid of
worked at that too.
Democrats. Okay, now at the local level, we have Democrat states, blue states. I happen to live in a blue state. The only way that we can get it turned to red, we have to work with the people to say, look, the
Try to
state's been
work with
too
the people.
strong. I'm sorry.
I say, yeah, you got to work with the people because that's what I'm working on. That's why
Right, we
I'm
have
going
to.
down to city council now.
Well, the other thing we have to do if we're living in like a blue state, we have to get flyers out to people and give the stories in the scenario of what the Democratic leaders have been doing. They have been
Yeah.
denying our people the opportunity to open businesses in their own communities. And when abandoned structures are left, they're denying the people, the brown people that look like us, opportunities to revitalize those structures. So we got to get them out of office so we won't continue to keep being denied. We either need to turn the state to an independent state or a red state. Most red states are very business minded, so they're less reluctant to deny people who want to be a positive revenue
It just
generating
take
company.
organization.
Yeah. So
Cause
we're
we live
trying.
in a bit of red state, but I live in a blue city. But we for to turn the city red.
Well, see, that's a plus on your side because Republican mindsets are easier to deal with when it comes to business because Republicans are business minded people, period. Therefore, revenue generating. Democrats
Yeah.
are are they rather give just enough for the to the poor. They don't want them to work. They just say, oh, let's give and hold them back.
Yeah, that's why a
Whereas
lot of companies move from California and other states to Texas because we're more business oriented and our taxes and is more uh, friendly towards business and growth in industry. So that's why I think it's more of a local problem that you're having
well,
instead of
that's
like a
across the
federal
state.
problem.
It's not only local, it's across the 50 states that it's not
Tennessee just got
local.
rid of property tax.
That's amazing.
Yeah. That's Joe Brown down there doing work.
That's freaking amazing.
It's happening, Sister Bethy. I just want you to stay more optimistic and don't want to, burn stuff down. It's okay.
It's not that,
It's not bad as I don't think it's as bad as
but
people
when
are
you,
making it out.
Superman, you and I, we always agree on a lot of things. But
We gonna disagree
I'm
on
not,
something.
I'm
We sisters and brothers.
I get that, but I don't have pity for the lazy individual that's not a go-getter. I'm in that male, that's male or female. I'm talking about the very aggressive person who really wants to make a difference in the community, continuously denied. Because number one, they know these individuals are aggressive and they really want to do. It's the it's the democratic power that's keeping them from excelling. And it has nothing to do with the individual not being able to be a great revenue generating business. It's the
Uh-uh.
local democratic government
Right. So
that's
the thing
keeping them
is,
back and allowing foreigners to come in there and they steal the whole plan. That this literally
uh,
is if somebody goes to the government, I'm telling you how it works. If somebody goes to a local government with a plan, a proposal of how they're going to generate and how they're going to make this happen, the Democrat government will deny that individual that's been in that community forever. And then give the same idea, the whole fucking platform that was given to them to tell them, here, make this money. They're going to give it to the white person. And they stole that person's idea and plan. That's what we're dealing with. You're giving your proposals, and they're very revenue generating proposals. That white son of a bitch that's racist is going to deny Miss James Pittman, but they're going to let their Bessie Sue come in and do the same exact proposal that was given to them. So they're still not only they denying the person, but they stole their fucking idea.
Yeah, but it's legal to steal
there
somebody's
are
idea. You
there
ever
are
heard
the
about
Yeah,
good.
we
a
know
book
it's
called
legal. We know it's legal, but the constant denial is wrong.
Yeah,
You're denying
You,
the very
you,
people
you
of
gotta
this community.
practice the art of
yeah,
war.
but business is war. You
Yeah,
ever heard of a book
you
called
gotta practice
The Meeting
war.
on Jekyll Island?
Right. That's what I'm saying. If they gonna do it like that and they playing like that, you gotta understand what you're up against. So you send your white boy in there to buy it if you're smart.
That's why a lot of people you notice they use EIN numbers so they can hide their personal thing, or they go into private and use their corporations
No,
as the entity
but you,
to buy these
but see,
businesses so they can hide their identity until they already
this
get
is
their
the
permits.
bullshit. No, this is the
But
bullshit that we shouldn't have to do in our own
yeah,
fucking
and you're
land.
right. We shouldn't have to. We damn sure shouldn't have
I'm
to.
not. I'm not doing that. And I'll be
You
damned
can't
if I tell a
determine
white
what you
person to
should
go and
do
do
to
that.
succeed.
No, how
You
about just
can't.
offing their ass?
No, 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 no. You can't determine what it takes for you to succeed. The task is at hand. You can't make up your gauntlet. The gauntlet is the gauntlet. Either you can make it through it or you're gonna blow it up and quit.
Okay, so they got their fucking secret societies, so we need to have ours. How
Bingo.
about that?
Yeah, and I agree with that also. But you ever heard that book, Jack Wallen, The Meeting of Jack Wallen? When all these bankers and shit, these people got together who used to be enemies against each other, decided to come together. When they did that, they started controlling everything because they were now partners. Every banker, instead of going against each other, they work together. So anybody open up a business, anybody got any kind of credit, all bankers know about it. Any loan you ever get, all bankers know about it now.
Right.
So they
Business
use
is
it and they do
war.
shit like that. Yeah, so they
Right.
do shit like that so
You
they
gotta
can
do what you
help in
gotta
their effort
do.
to work. When they came up with that shit though, I don't know exactly what year it was, but they started controlling everything. So they figure out how to control the money. Those who
That's
control the
what I'm
money,
saying, Sister Betty. Yeah, go ahead, Jones. I thought you.
go ahead, you can go ahead.
I mean, what it takes to succeed is what it takes to succeed. The only rule to being great is to be great. It ain't nobody cares. Nobody is gonna give you a leg up. Nobody gives a fuck. I mean, you just gotta do what you gotta do. If it's a wall, you can't complain that the wall is there. You tear it down, go over it, go under it, go around it. The wall is there. You can't say, well, it's unfair somebody put a wall up here. Do you want to go
Yeah.
past it and get what's on the other side of it, or you want to complain about the wall?
March and write letters. We gotta understand business and how it works. Once we get educated on how business works, then we can do the same thing these immigrants do. But there's some things we gotta do politically. We gotta get ourselves back in position to take back control of what our ancestors left. Once we do that, then we back in the game. Right now we deal with the karma, some of the shit we did, we was in control. We was in control, we did a lot of fucked up shit. We be honest with each other. I'm talking about a lot of fucked up shit.
Yeah, but you can't put
But
all
I
the people
know,
in one box and say they're all
but
like that. And that has been the
You're right.
issue. That has been the issue. Yes, we
But the
have
majority was
people
like that
that
though.
have done evil and bad things and destroyed our community. But you can't continue to put us all in one box. You can't
No, but
continue
the
to put
universe is
people.
doing it to us, Queen.
No, I know
Don't we
fucking
talk about
universe.
that's
karma?
what I'm saying.
Ain't
It
no
ain't never
universe.
unbalanced. There's never an
It's not. It's
unbalance.
not the universe. It's a motherfucker with a denial stamp. But I want to read what I want to read Cory Booker shit, and then I'm gonna respond to him. Bethiona. For 25 hours on the Senate floor, I had the honor of reading the letters, calls, and stories that New Jerseyans and Americans from across the country have shared with me in the 10 weeks since Donald Trump took the oath of office. I rose because Trump and Musk's actions have caused undue harm to Americans of all backgrounds. Vital institutions are being recklessly and unconstitutionally attacked and even shattered. As I see it, our most basic American principles are at stake. If you work hard your entire life and pay into Social Security, It should be there for you when you retire, and you should not have to question if those paychecks will arrive. If you serve your nation, you should be respected and taken care of, not forced to worry that the federal employees who will provide you with care will be fired, or that the benefits you rely on will be denied, or that your health care needs won't be met, that your children will have access to a high quality public education and return home safely from school each day, that the people you elect to serve in government will represent you and not try to make themselves richer, that everyone's rights will be equally protected and everyone will be held equally accountable under the law. I have heard from thousands of you over the past few weeks, and you wanted us to do whatever we could to address the breaking of these bedrock commitments in America. The only way we will continue to counter the constant barrage of lies, distractions, and attacks is if we choose to stand up and speak out together with gratitude. Now, here is my response, Mr. Booker. Here is my response. Fuck you this week, next week, and all the fucking years that you have been a Democratic senator. Kiss my ass. Fuck your entire party. Because we asked y'all those same motherfucking questions for the last 30 fucking years. The same questions. You need to write that letter to your fucking self and then answer it. Because that's what we've been asking y'all when y'all bastards was in power. So you can kiss my ass. And the shit you saying about Trump is a fucking lie. You Democrats have been the only threat to our fucking people. You Democrats have threatened us. Everything the fuck you said Trump has threatened to do, y'all motherfuckers been doing for the last 30 fucking years, threatening our Social Security. Fucked up education. Fucked up leadership. Fucked up representation. So here's my message, because I know your ass is watching. Fuck you. You had 30 years to fix the fucking problem. The only fucking threat to our Social Security is y'all son of a bitches. Y'all are the motherfuckers who let all these foreigners in here and tap into our fucking shit that they didn't participate in. So fuck you. So if our Social Security is at a threat, it's because of y'all motherfuckers.
Stealing
so fuck
and shit.
you. So on behalf of Donald Trump and Elon Musk, fuck you this week, fuck you next week, and fuck you the previous 30 years. That's my response to your letter. Next.
Hey man, I think Elon and boy doing a good job shaking that shit up. It's been too much fraud going on around here for years. These niggas are making themselves richer.
Yeah.
I found out about that Social
They
Security
don't have
thing.
to
Man,
make themselves richer.
Shh.
I can't believe that letter. That fucking letter is a letter that he needs to write, okay, and send it to all his Democratic colleagues. I told him I'm done with them lying bastards. Everything
I
he
think we
wrote
should
in
vote
that
to get rid of the
fucking letter.
Democratic Party. I
Yes.
think we should end that whole party.
End that party and just deal with independence
Start something different.
and
Republicans.
Republicans. Independents and Republicans. Because we need some sort of argument so we can come up with a common solution. That same letter is a letter that we've been writing y'all motherfucking Democrats for the last 30 years. At least I know. Y'all have been the threat to our Social Security. Everything they said in our letter.
You know what I think it is, Miss Betty? These niggas know that niggas starting to go to jail behind that fraud they were doing for all these years.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to answer for that shit. So they're trying to stop them boys from digging into their business. But it's time to do an audit on the whole fucking government to find out what's really going on.
Exactly. They can't sell me shit.
Yeah, fuck them. I don't
That's
really
going to
want to
be
hear
my
nothing from nobody
response
with that
to
as
every
a part of
fucking
that party.
Oh my God, that's gonna be my response. That's my response to every fucking Democrat that send me an email. I never gave Cory Booker my email. The only why that motherfucker sent me that email and how I got in this email distribution list is because I had his picture up. So maybe he got it twisted thinking that I support his ass. This picture from yesterday was my thumbnail. And who the fuck is standing there? Cory Booker, Michael Jordan, and Isaiah Thomas. That's why I got that email. But I'm not on none of his distribution lists. And I'm not a Democratic. I'm not in the Democratic Party. I've been out the Democrat Party since Trump first came in office. I've been a Republican since. So they don't have me on their records. That motherfucker be watching my channel, and I told you I know it. Because I stream to Twitter.
Yeah, anybody
So
with
now
that got
all the
content
Democrats
that
was
many
watching me
followers
because
that they
that's
gonna be
who's in
fuck
my
with you.
Twitter.
You got so
Huh?
much followers. That's what you got so many followers. They got to reach out to you.
Well, they can reach
So
out.
through
Now
you,
they know.
they think they're
Now
gonna
they
reach
know
the
my
people.
answer. Leave Trump alone. Fuck you on behalf of Trump and Elon Musk. Fuck you 3 times.
And
Mr.
if you've been
Booker.
stealing, your ass about to go to jail.
Facts.
That shit
That's what
Goofball.
I
crazy,
think
especially how
is
them boys
about the
do
camp.
what they did to
I
FEMA,
want to
man.
see
That shit was
somebody
crazy.
go to jail.
Huh?
I want to see somebody. I want to see a perp walk. I want to see somebody in
All them niggas.
handcuffs.
Like them boys did down here in Charleston to the city councilmen. Locked their ass up.
That's
These niggas
fucking
been doing
Yeah,
so
crazy.
much
that's what I
crooked
want to
shit.
see.
And then they make it so bad because they look just like us. But they really ain't
Why
one of
y'all
us.
keep saying that, man? No, man. That's
Because
why I asked
if you look
earlier.
at the Democratic
I
Party,
said,
man,
why y'all
Democratic Party
think
full
that
up with
us
selling
is
ass.
not? We all good. Come on, Darvis.
Hey
Can't be
man,
all good, bro.
it is what
Man,
it is.
listen, I got a cousin in jail for the M word, and I got a cousin that graduated from Yale. We came from the same family.
Yeah.
So which one of them is not me? Or not
Both of
us?
you. Both of you.
Okay, that's what I'm
But see,
saying,
we talk
man.
about the Democratic Party. We talk about these people in party and power
No,
that's making the
no,
laws that
man,
doing all this
no,
scheming and
man,
shit.
no.
Word, gang. Think about it. Look at these cities that's ran by the people that so-called look like us. Look at the condition of the cities they run. And they rich as hell.
Correct.
But
Bro, I
everybody
just
like that,
told you
And they
we
only
are a
starving.
blue
they only
city and we a blue city in a red state. So I understand. That's what I'm saying.
and they don't even come in the communities that they represent.
Unless the cameraman out there.
Mine do, cause I'm for the get on 'em.
How
It's
old are you,
our
man?
fault. I'm older than you, darling.
You ain't older than me,
You
man.
just look old. You just look older than me. You had a hard life. Them streets.
Hey, man. Some niggas ain't trust fund
That
babies,
street
dog.
life.
A lot of us can't sit there and suck a mama titty all life, man. I had to get
Oh
up and get out.
Lord.
Right.
Yeah. See,
Yeah, yeah.
you lucky because you 40-something years old, still
Calm
doing
down,
your
man.
mom dudes got
Calm
you.
down,
And shouts
darling.
out to her for
Calm
still being
down.
able to take care of you.
Superman
But
is
We talking
53.
about
deep down inside,
Superman
she waiting for your ass to get the fuck out, Holmes. You
Superman is
really ain't helping her.
53. And, you 53, right? Superman 52, 53. Right? How
50,
old?
55. Oh.
Oh yeah, 55. Yeah,
Nigga, you
you're
ain't older than me. I'm
No,
Superman.
52,
five
man.
zero.
Yeah.
Five
I'm 50
zero.
also.
You just turned 50. I turned 50 before you.
Oh,
I'm older than you, darling.
no, you ain't. Nigga, we both 50. When you turn 51, then you can say that. Until then, motherfucker, we the same age.
But I was 50 before you was 50.
Well, you should have did all that talking before I turned 50. I'm 59,
I
nigga.
did.
And I ain't said nothing then. Now I'm 50.
Oh, you're 59, Darvis?
No, I'm 50 also. I just turned 50 on March 21st.
Y'all both Generation X.
W-
Same. We
What's
Yeah,
all the
we the
same.
Generation X?
babies of the Generation X.
Oh, come on. You gotta know that.
Man, I swear, I be hearing you saying that shit, man. I still
All
don't
right.
understand what's Generation X.
Here you go. Look.
Sister Betty, she closer to a baby boomer, so she kind of got, you know.
No, I'm Gen X.
I know, but you like uh, older Gen X, like you like the first Gen X's. So you kind of still got some of the
No,
ideologies and
I'm in the
as the
middle.
baby boomers.
I'm in the middle. I'm a Generation X baby. I don't have nothing like boomer generation. Them ear blowing niggas, hard ankles. I still got a lot
You
of
what
chicks.
year you was born, Sister Betty? 60 what? 68.
I'm not telling you.
I already remember you told me before.
No, you don't.
Could
I'm a Gen X. Just remember that I'm Generation X. No. I am an older Generation X. I am an older Generation X.
you?
I actually am. I'm an older Generation X. We all are Gen X. Me, you, um, Darvis,
Yeah,
all
I'm
of
right
us.
in the middle. Darvis is 74. I'm 74.
Yeah,
But
Gen
he
X.
he late in the year.
True Gen X.
No, Darvis 75.
Still a Gen X. True Gen X.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you're born
yeah,
in the 70s, period, you're a Generation X.
yeah.
The late 60s and all the 70s, you're a Generation X.
So why they call that other generation baby boomers?
They're
But
the
they had a population boom. They had a lot
yeah,
of babies that year.
yeah, because a lot of them came from the army and they just boomed. All those babies was made. That's a fact.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, that's the generation, like, well, my
That seems like
great
the generation
grandma
before
from
that. Yeah, my grandma,
my
the boy.
yeah, they had like 13 kids and all that.
Yeah, seemed like
Them
everybody had 12
Yeah,
kids.
But that
yeah.
was what was baby boomers? 46. No, that was my dad. That was my dad. No.
No, my dad was the traditionalist. They was a silent generation. He was born in 44. My grandmother, all born in the silent generation.
My grandma only had 4 kids, but all her sisters had like nine,
Yeah.
10 kids,
My great
12
grandma was
kids.
in the side.
Yeah,
She just made 100.
my grandmother had 9.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
how it should been back in them days. I think because they ain't had no TVs or radios, there ain't nothing else you could do.
I think they did
Right.
have TVs. They had those little
The little black and white joint.
20 something.
yeah.
Uh,
They
that's the
didn't
way to
make
watch it.
they didn't make noise, right?
That was
What?
the silent generation. That was like the generation during the Great Depression. But that really didn't happen
Yeah,
to our
yeah. That's
people
Great
like
Depression.
it
Yeah, the Great
happened to
Depression didn't
the
affect us. That was them boys trying to
right.
get
So
on. That's when
that
they got on.
we was having babies and they were starving.
Yeah, but we was getting told by
That's
our
how they
people to
say
go
you
spend our money
can't.
with them motherfuckers.
A lot of
That's
them
what
were
happened to
I'm
us.
coming
saying you
a lot of them were coming over here on the ships from their country. A
Yeah,
lot of of them were coming over here in the shiploads from like Italy and shit. They was coming over here because they were plagued with TB. So they was coming here
yeah.
during that
And
time.
during that time, the boy would clean out their jail houses and their asylums and shit like that. Trying to clean up these streets and shipping all their ass over here.
Yeah.
Come over here and work over here as indentured
Jerry
servant.
said they didn't have birth control.
Hey man, I remember back when I was young,
but that's why they
we
had
used to say brothers
that's when they
had
was
AIDS in
coming
it.
through the
No.
north,
The millennials do
through
Yeah,
not
Ellis
start no
Island
damn
and them.
1979. Nah.
Those were
Millennials
the
yeah,
do
that's
not.
Democrats then. The ones that opened up Ellis Island, those were Democrats. The Republicans was in the South.
yeah.
Everybody born in the 70s is Generation X.
Yeah, we all Gen X.
But why do
Yeah.
they call it Generation
We
X
gonna
though?
change it
Bec- all right. I could
because they
Google
didn't know they
real
didn't have
quick.
they didn't have an agenda for us. They didn't have nothing. They were just we was unknown like X.
Generation X, born Um, the generation born after the baby boomers, um, typically perceived to be disaffected and directionless. Generation X took a
Right,
relaxed approach, concentrating on quality of life.
right. We didn't have a direction. We didn't. They didn't have an agenda for us. They just put like whatever was there. That was what it was, and
I'm from the South, man.
whatever
They had a dinner for us when I was born,
they
man. I'm talking
didn't.
about when I was like 6 years
Because they
old.
would put computers,
I
they
was
was
picking up
putting
tools and shit
computers
like
in
this.
all the schools.
Man, when I
They
went to
had
school, they
all
had
the
no computers. That shit
vocations and
retarded.
huh?
When I went to school, like if you had a reading problem or a math issue, then they had like these little computers them boy had in these compensatory classes to help them boys with those two issues. That's the only computers we had. I went to high school, and we took up typing with a
But
typewriter.
they don't have that now, bro. They
No,
don't have any of that now because they got an
none of that
agenda
shit.
for them people. For us, they were
And
just giving us what we need, just doing what
yeah,
was supposed to be done.
Generation Y, known as the millennials, demographic cohort born, characterized by their tech savviness and experiences with rapid technological advancements in changing social norms. So there's the millennials. The tech savvy, social
Because they
conscious.
was targeted.
The
They
millennials
was
grew up
targeted
with the
with the
wide
text.
Yeah, millennials grew up with widespread access to the internet and digital technologies, making them comfortable with technology. Social conscious. They are often seen as more accepting and tolerant of diverse lifestyles and are likely to support issues like LGBTQ rights, gender equality, and racial diversity. Collaborative. They tend to prefer teamwork and collaboration over competition and individual achievement. Work life balance. They value work life balance and are more likely to push for changes in the workforce that support this. Financial insecurity. Some millennials came of age during the recession, which has impacted their financial independence. Okay. They are the cohort between Gen X and Gen Z.
See,
The
So what
term,
America
comes after
was
Gen Z?
pure.
huh? Gen Z are adults now, I believe. Gen
Yeah.
Z refers to people born between 95 and 2010. The Z in the name means Zoomer, as this is the first generation known to Zoom the internet. Most of those who are part of Gen Z are the children of Gen X. I told you, my daughter's a a Y, a millennial. What does it stand for? The Oxford Dictionary defined Gen Z as the group of people who were born between the 90s and 1990s, who are regarded as being very familiar with the internet. What is the difference between Gen Z and millennials? Millennials and Gen Z are distinct generations with differing values, priorities, and experiences shaped by the technological advancements and societal shifts. Um, what is the attitude of Gen Z? Gen Z, known as digital natives, are pragmatic, value work life balance, and are strong advocates for the workplace etiquette, while also being mindful of their mental health and the state of the world. No, they ain't. They crazy as hell. But that's what it is. We're up here. We're almost pushing retirement. Gen X. Millennials is right behind
See,
us.
America was pure during our era. Like it was no agendas. Then they start coming out with agendas.
Yeah, that's a
That's why we
fact.
free thinkers.
You
So
talking
We
about
y'all
don't
us
fall for
evolved.
Gen
the
X?
okie doke too much. Yeah,
You talking
Gen
about us?
X. We don't fall for the okie doke too quick.
Yeah, you're right.
That's why they having trouble now. Because we like, nah, man, this don't even make sense.
You right. Oh my God, to get that email from the Booker people, Cory Booker people just
What did
made
it
me
say?
so it made me so angry. That letter, that email, it's a generic email that they send to everyone. But I know my segment yesterday prompted them because I used them as a thumbnail of saying who were American Indians.
You in the algorithm.
Right. I was, but they got my whole fucking first name.
Yeah, you in the algorithm. I need to
Man,
log
before
off
the
because I
election,
don't want to
man, I used to
mess
get all
with
these
them.
emails from Trump the boy party.
Huh?
Since they bet they're gonna
I
get the
said before the
feds on me.
election, I used to get all kind of emails from the Republican Party, from Trump the boy party. I guess asking for money or whatnot. And I don't know how the fuck that started.
You in the algorithm.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know how they fought my email and my name.
Man. Yeah, I don't understand how powerful these computers are, man.
And you're right, man. I've never really been good at computers and shit like that, man. I have to get my daughter to handle most of my business.
Oh
Now she
yeah.
want to charge me.
What type of business you do? Um.
Concrete. A good man concrete on concrete business.
Oh, nice. So you do the you know how the steps have the concrete. That bottom
Yeah.
step is always concrete. That's what you do.
Yeah, I do step work. Step work. Do all kind of concrete, man. Mainly those slabs and driveways, those sidewalks,
Yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah. That's what's up. I seen this condo and I like it. I really do. But I'm not gonna be here when I retire. I'm moving to South Carolina.
Oh.
Once you come
Mm.
down here, you ain't gonna be able to go back.
Oh, I know I ain't going back.
Yeah,
That's why
once you come to
I'm.
the south, yeah, the south is way different than the north. I think the north is
Very
more
true.
racist than the south.
Oh God, yeah.
Always been, man.
Always, always terrible here. Um, if I could move my equipment to South Carolina, and because I work from home for the state, I have not been back since COVID because we were able to be home basically. I don't have to go in the office because all the inspectors work on the road anyway, so I deal with all of them through email anyway. So there was no need for me to come back in the office. So we are able to make space for other people to have places, desks to sit at. So, but if I could move to South Carolina tomorrow, I'd be gone tomorrow. But I can't leave the state of Connecticut with the equipment because I have all the equipment on the other side of my room office. I would be
What kind of
gone.
work do
I
you
would have
do?
been gone. I'm an executive assistant.
Okay.
I do a lot of stuff. I don't like to talk about what I do. But anyway, I would fucking be gone within a month down to live in South Carolina and I work from my home, but I can't because I can't leave the state of Connecticut with their equipment. It's
South Carolina got some beach property, don't they?
Yeah.
Beachfront.
um
Yeah, all over the place. Beachfront, swamp
How,
property, lakefront.
isn't that Myrtle Beach, right? They
Yeah.
got
what
a lot
kind
of
of beach do y'all have? Is it a sandy
Man,
beach or is it like?
all beaches sandy.
everybody talks about
No,
that
they
beach.
not, bro.
Everybody talks about
What
Myrtle
kind of
Beach.
beach you ever been to that don't have sand on it?
Man, they got rocks. Some 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 some
Man, I
beaches
ain't
got
never heard no
rocks,
shit like
bro.
that.
You need to travel, dog. Let's get out of Goose Creek, brother.
Why?
Some beaches got black sand, some of them got white sand, some of them got rocks, some of them got pebbles, brother. The world is
Huh?
bigger than what you think it is.
Hey man, I'm not from
Our
the world.
beach, our beach down
Right.
here was so bad they had to close that bitch. because it had so many hypodermic needles. They had a lot of people that would live on the beach in tents, homeless
My mom
people,
was
and
telling me about.
they were shooting up dope and just leaving their needles there.
Like
My mom was saying
in
that
the
about
San
Coney Island.
Francisco Bay, it's not sandy beaches.
Well, listen, that's the other side of Mississippi, man. So we cross that Mississippi, you go into a whole nother thing, man.
That's what I'm
Oh
telling you, man. You gotta get out and see the world, brother.
I thought you was in Florida, Darvis.
no, I'm in Goose Creek, South Carolina, right by the
Oh,
water.
okay.
In fact, I was
But
supposed to go fishing today.
your houses are far apart, right?
It depends where you go at. Some neighborhoods they close together, and some of them further apart. A lot of people got own a lot of land. Like in the areas we live at, like in Goose Creek, most of Goose Creek is owned by the indigenous people of the area.
How far are
So
you from Bennettsville?
Bennettsville, what the fuck is close to Bennettsville? What
Huh?
major city? What major city is by Bennettsville?
Marlboro County.
I'm not sure what that's at. As a matter of
Mm.
fact, I know
Darvin,
there's a
don't
prison in
leave the
Bennettsville. I know
hood.
about Walterboro and all that. Walterboro, by the state, on state line.
We're closer. They're closer to North Carolina.
Yeah, up there by the border, by Clemson and all that shit up there.
Marlboro County is close to North Carolina. It's like 20-minute ride.
Yeah, like Rock Hill area, or like, 'cause North Carolina is a wide border. I mean, so you got some part that was 77 go across, and that's like going toward Charlotte and all of that, and then you got like 45 cross there or 44, then 95 crosses, 17 crosses. I mean, it depends like what part of North Carolina you talk about. North Carolina is like a long state.
Hey, Montana, are you close to Columbia?
Yeah, I'm like an hour from Columbia. Columbia like further west from us. We right by the water.
So then you're not near Bennettsville. Because
No,
all that it's like Marlboro County.
yeah,
You
yeah,
said
Columbia and
Goose
all that shit
Creek.
west of us, man. Goose Creek is right beside Charleston. You can throw a rock to Charleston, or North
Oh,
Charleston. Like literally right up the street. You can ride a bike to North Charleston. So when you ride up High Hall Road, turn the NAD Road across the bridge, the Goose Creek Bridge, the other side of Goose Creek Bridge is North Charleston.
I'm about to find out right now. Oh, okay. So Goose Creek is down. Um, Marlboro County. Let me see. Oh, that's a 2 hour and 23 minutes away from Marlboro County.
Yeah.
Damn.
Dogs don't leave the hood.
Why would I leave the hood? King, we own the hood. Everybody in the hood know
I
blood
looked at
relative.
it on a map right here. I'm like, damn. Goose Creek is way down here. Y'all are exactly on the water. And Marlboro
Yeah.
County is up here.
Yeah.
So
Y'all right up at 95, correct?
this is Highway 9 East. I don't know where that is. But my family lived here. No, they lived in Asheville many years later. This is North Carolina.
Yeah, Asheville, North Carolina, South Carolina.
But Asheville, they lived in Asheville, Abbeville. You're talking about Abbeville. They
There's
lived in
Asheville.
there's an Asheville, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know it's a Abbeville, Abbville, Abbe. And then you have my great grandmother was born in Wilmington, her and her brothers and sisters. But they came up from York, South Carolina. Let me see what that is. York.
Yeah. The thing about South Carolina, everybody from here. Somewhere along your ancestry.
Yeah, they was up here. And then they made their way all the way. It was in York, South Carolina. That's 2 hour and 20-minute ride. 2 hour and 20 minute 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 ride. 2 hour and It came on down.
Darvis, everybody is not from South Carolina, brother.
I see your ancestors are. Remember now, one time South Carolina went all the
My
way down to Florida
m-
before there was a
my
Georgia.
ancestors are from Texas, brother.
Man, ain't
Wow.
nobody from that goddamn
So
Texas, man.
you're somebody who deeply lived in Texas, huh? For a lot of years.
What, four
That's the only.
generations that I personally say. My
That's
great
a long
grandma's
time.
from my my grandma. She just turned 100. Her mom is from Texas, and her mom
Wow.
is from Galveston. So
Wow. That's a
we've
long
been in
time.
Texas for over 500 years. Past that,
Jarvis,
I,
your family is only in South Carolina?
Man, my
That's where they
family all over the place. Nah,
I mean, did they originate from there?
on the Baylock side, a lot of boys came from Charleston area. But like on the Roundtree side, because my great grandmama was a Roundtree. Then she became a Baylock. She
So
married a Baylock, but she
was
was a
she
Roundtree. A
related
lot of boys from Georgia, a lot of family in Jacksonville. So they like my mom talked about how when she was little, she was spending summers in Jacksonville, and the rest of school year they'd be here in Charleston. But then my granddad, he
are
was
you
from
related to
Georgia.
Richard Roundtree?
Yeah.
Wow.
he looked just like him. He just a little bit bigger. Shaft looking.
Oh,
So yeah,
duh, you
shut
said
the
my records have some ancestors from the Carolinas. Yeah, a lot of our people that migrated north are from South Carolina.
yeah. That's what I
A
was
lot
trying
of
to
them,
tell Superman.
but they
But
But
didn't
it
I'm
move
from
to
was
South
west of the
Carolina.
Mississippi, man.
cool,
You
man. We
know when
really
people start going west, that it was black people still over there. I mean, already there. Like when people showed up
yeah,
to
I understand that.
Oklahoma, it was.
Yeah, people
It,
already there. I got you. I got to understand that. But like I was saying, most of the people on this side of the Mississippi, on the east side of Mississippi, most of them got blood ties somewhere down south, anywhere from Mississippi to Florida to Carolina.
My family been in Connecticut for 96 years. That's how long we've been away from South Carolina. So they said
Hmm.
when you been in a particular state for so many years, you become that Indian. Because we move from one Indian territory to another to the next. And if
I
you're
understand
born,
that.
we had the same rules. If you were born in a specific Indian territory, you're that Indian. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like my
If you
mom, my grandmother, her house like right behind me. Well, my aunt house behind me, but her house right behind my aunt house. And on both sides of her, I have her sisters. So there was like a whole straight line with just sisters, like six of them. We were all their kids. Their kids live right in front of them, and the grandkids live in front of them. My great great grandmama, she lived right behind my grandmother's house, and everybody was here since the 1800s. We found out the land. Like we found out the earliest person on the land that we could find was Wade Roundtree, but Wade never bought the land. Wade inherited the land from his daddy.
wow,
So, but there was some kind of connection between Wade Roundtree and William Baylock because a lot of people in the area are Baylocks. So William came down here in the, I think it was the late 1800s, and he married one of Wade's granddaughters, and his son married one of the granddaughters. Wade came here with a wife. Excuse me, no.
mm,
William came here with a wife. William's son, they call Elijah Baylock or Hester, whatever. He married Hester Roundtree. That was my great grandmama. But
wow.
Wade had like, excuse me, not Wade. William had like 7 to 8 brothers and sisters that came down here in Goose Creek too. They live all in the same area. We used to sit on like I think it was my grandmama said it was like 420 something acres, basically farmland, and there was a lot of baylocks right here. So
We had large lands because we had large families. I just can't believe. I just freaked out when I see all my fourth generation grandmother's kids. I mean, 16 kids by the same man. None of them are twins. That's a
yeah, that's
lot
how
of
I've been around
kids
here,
in
man.
the
I'm talking about
house.
everybody had a bunch of kids, but then everybody had a
Yeah,
bunch of land too, though, and
right. And they
everybody had to
all
work this
lived
fucking
on
land.
we had to work on our lands. That's how we
Just
ate.
Yeah,
think
nobody
about
really
the
went nowhere to go to
population
a job and shit like
explosion.
that.
Yeah, we didn't really go to grocery stores. We went
Exactly.
like we bought from each other like a lot of our ancestors made like preserves, right? It was real big with preserves down south.
Niggas
The
had smoke houses and shit like that, storehouses. Like my mom's husband, he's a Rutledge.
Oh, I know
All them
some.
boys live right there down the street from us. And I'm talking about everybody back there are Rutledges. But it started off at Jones's. And Mr. Rutt married Miss Ellen Jones. So that's how all them boys became Rutledges. And I'm talking about them boys that were like my grandmama said they all them boys had was cattle and all kind of shit like that, all kind of animals back there. But we had like a farm up here.
I'm a Jones. I'm from the
Word?
Jones line, but we probably was the Joneses that owned John. So
You know them.
I
You know what they
understand.
say
I was
about
there.
them Joneses? All the Joneses related. They sleep with each other.
Hey man, listen though. When you come down to the this area, like this part of Charleston, like Goose Creek, all these little spots that's off of Charleston is where everybody lived at who controlled Charleston. So nobody really lived in Charleston. Well, a lot of people lived in Charleston, you understand that, but most people who had shit going on, they live on the outskirts of Charleston. Like in North Charleston, one of them islands, James Johns, Mount Pleasant, or some shit like that. Mouse Corner and places like that. And when
Mm,
you look at it, it only been like a few families. So everybody blood is tied up somehow.
yeah.
So everybody in this area here related somehow. If you go
So
back
you
far
an
enough,
inbreed, darling.
I'm like, what?
You like you like an inbreed.
Ain't no motherfucking inbreed, nigga. I
That
was born in New
explains
York.
it.
I was
That
born in New York,
explains it.
nigga.
I can't stand
That
Super.
explains it all.
No, nigga, I was born in New York.
You so bad, Super.
You been a slave, nigga.
That
Word.
explains a lot, Jarvis.
Hey, man. Whatever
Y'all
you want
stop
to
me.
think, man, you got the right to think whatever you want to think. But like I say, man, I don't lie, I don't cry, and I don't fly. Whatever happened before I was here, happened before I was here. But my grandmama went
A
up to New
cousin
York
make a
till I think like in
dozen.
a what?
Yeah. You know that old saying y'all got down south.
Nigga, you won't said it. You sure you ain't got over
I
there?
know about it.
Yeah, I do. I bet you do, nigga. You from Texas.
I
Hey, big.
know about it.
You know, I really love our lifestyles as Southern lifestyles because I- the- whether you want to believe it or not, our strongest love was in the South when we lived on our lands and our farmlands. We it wasn't always how society makes it seem. When we was working out in them fields on our own lands, we was having good times in them fields because they really was singing songs as they was working to get them through the day, card playing. That was our culture, and I think most of our love came from that hard work on them farms.
Yeah.
Because we go
Most of us
pulling
built
all them
too.
buckets, yeah, pulling all them buckets and shrut corn and sweet peas and all that, and separating them in different big old bucket metal buckets.
Yeah.
That
What
was
you
good
cook
life. It
today,
was
Sister
hard work.
Bethy?
I didn't cook anything today.
Oh.
For the last 2 days, I've been eating like soup. Like when I get out of here, because it's so late. and soup is something light. I got some chicken noodle soup, and I have some of those Chinese noodles. You know the hard ones that you can eat like corn chips, but they not.
I
I
don't know
put.
why, man. I do not like no fucking noodles.
You don't like noodles?
Nope. I could deal with lasagna every
What?
now and again, but I need rice every fucking night and grits every morning.
I love grits and I love rice, but we took a break from rice because we eat rice with every meal.
Man,
And
rice will put Charleston in the
Yeah.
game.
I
My
love
auntie was
rice.
like that. She always had a pot of rice on the stove every meal.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I used to make rice, right? And 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 I ain't even I would make the old school um gravy, with the you know how with the onions and the gravy and the
Yeah.
flour.
You got to
It
fry the
just
flour or some shit like that.
yeah, that's how I
Yeah.
still make it. I still make my rice my gravy like that.
I don't
And
think you can really buy
Darvis is
gravy
a
from the
black
store.
European. He don't know nothing about that.
Black European, nigga, we owned everything around here. The fuck you talking about? You better do some
Yeah, but
research
you
on my
still a
name, dog.
European.
You know when I go to YouTube and nigga, I don't come with no
I can't stand
emojis. I put
soup.
my direct name on that motherfucker. You know why I use my real name on that motherfucker, dog? But those researchers, they can research my name. They know who the fuck I am.
Darcy.
Sister Betty,
I'm a
when you
goddamn
fry
European.
fish, how do you
Don't get
fry
me wrong
fish,
now. We
Sister
probably have people
Betty?
in Europe.
Oh, I use I only fry. Oh, and you know what? That reminds me. I'm gonna take that red snapper out because I'm gonna make them tomorrow. I love red snappers the way I make them though. But I usually buy whitings fish,
Hmm.
and they
We
fillet it
don't.
for me right there at the fish market.
And how you
And
cook it?
And most of us
I
go
deep,
fishing, but we don't really
I
buy
deep
fish
fry
down
it
too
in
much.
cornmeal. I have to have cornmeal.
You see,
Y'all use
you
flour?
got cornmeal. Darvis use flour. He's a
Oh,
European. Who
No,
no.
nigga,
fries
I don't
fish
cook.
in
My wife,
flour?
my
Only
wife
way
fry fish and flour. I don't cook.
no,
Because
I don't
she a
like flour.
European. She know what you like.
My fish got to
No,
be
baby.
in cornmeal,
Fish and chips.
old school
Yeah,
cornmeal. And
we eat fish and grits around here. Don't get me
uh
wrong now.
huh.
Like the older people used to use cornmeal a lot, but I rather flour, man. I don't like my shit too crispy.
Because you're European.
You
How
like
the fuck
flour
I'm
on your
European?
cornmeal?
No flour in the fish. Yeah.
Oh no, I only use cornmeal. Old school. It got to be
See?
cornmeal.
Gotta
Hey,
be.
Got to
man,
be
listen.
cornmeal.
Like I said, my grandmother and the boy use cornmeal, but I don't really like that shit, man. I like my shit regular flour and seasoned just right.
Because you
She catch most of our
European. You
fish.
was raised by American family, but you don't
Nigga, listen, I'm
really
not European,
know.
but don't get me wrong. I may have family in Europe because we had, remember, like I said, we had a fucking farm, nigga. And I'm talking about 400 some odd acres. What do you think we did with that much greenery? You think we ate that much fucking collard greens? All our neighbors had farms. So we didn't trade it with each other because
You
everybody
need
down here
more
had a farm.
greens, Darvin. You need
No, we
more
were
roughage
shipping that
in
shit
your
all over
life.
the fucking world, nigga. All over the world.
No, I'm saying
My
you
people went up north,
personally,
nigga.
you
They went up
need
there with
some
money.
more leafy greens in your diet.
Nigga,
Y'all
I
know
eat
what
the
else
green,
I
nigga. I'm
like?
from the South. We eat greenery every fucking day, nigga. I'm from the South.
Y'all
Y'all
know what
niggas in
else I
that
like?
desert, you
My
can't grow
grandmother
no
used to
green out
make.
there.
My
The green y'all
grandmother
do eat
called.
out there, my nigga, that ain't really good for you.
My grandmother called this the hard time meal. But I love boiled chicken and rice. Boiled chicken and rice. You know
Boiled
how
chicken.
you
You mean like
yes.
stew chicken?
But
Oh, boiled chicken, right? I take
How you
like
boil chicken?
all right. Sometimes I'll use chicken wings or sometimes I'll use chicken legs and I let it cook down, until it fall off the
what you mean
bone.
cook down?
And then I until it fall off the bone. Until it falls off the
You put
bone.
it in a pot of water and just boil it?
And but wait a minute, I put seasoning in there. I put like three
Hmm.
packs of onion soup mix.
Yeah,
Three
that's stew
packs.
chicken.
Hmm.
And I let it boil in a pot, right? Until
Yeah, I
the
never
meat
had that.
until the meat falls off the bone. Then I put the rice in there and let the rice cook down.
Yeah, they call it perlo around
Oh
here.
no.
Perlo
Oh,
rice,
honey,
nigga.
you
I just
talk
had
about
that last night.
honey. You let it cook down, let the rice cook down, and I eat a big ass bowl of that. Just give me some hot sauce. It's going
Oh
down.
no.
I don't like hot
Mm-mm.
sauce, man. I was told my
My
mama
God.
told me, man, when I was little, man, if you know how to cook, you don't need hot sauce. They use all
Well,
the hot sauce
no,
in the West
no,
can't cook.
no. Oh, now that looks
Man,
good.
that look like a Mexican plate.
Let me see that again. I'm Superman. That looks so good. I had some little corns the other day.
That
Oh
like you came
man,
from
look at
Mexico,
there.
Taco Bell.
What do you got? Oh, that looks good, honey.
What the fuck is that?
You go head on now. You go head on now.
Pasta,
What is what is it?
pasta and salad and corn like
See,
So
that's
spaghetti.
that's
why
what
y'all
They
niggas so
got
weak
cheese
over in
on it.
Texas, man.
that looks good.
What?
That's why
What the
y'all weak out there.
dog?
Y'all don't eat the right shit, man. They eating like the
Man,
Mexicans.
it's
That's why y'all
vegetables
short like the
and
Mexicans.
pasta and beef.
I love pasta. Period.
I don't really care for pasta. No noodles.
He said no noodles. You ain't no Indian.
Hey, man.
You
My
can't
people
be
call
Indian.
these
You gotta
things.
like noodles.
Listen,
And I like
we don't call
cornbread. I
ourselves
love
Indians. The people that left, remember now, the people that left here and went out west started arguing over that term Indian. Yeah, we were called that, but nobody really argue over no shit like that. We go by our last names.
well, no, but also I remember my grandmother used to be angry, yelling at my cousins and saying, "You Choctaw nigga, you." My grandmother used to say that, and I never understood it. I didn't know what a Choctaw was. And I
Mm.
said, "Well, I'll be damned." That was a
But see, a
very
lot
kind.
of, if you look at the history down here, right, a lot of our families, especially around the time we left the Union, a lot of them boys started flipping on their own family and leaving, dealing with the Union, sold
Yeah.
their fucking land and went out west.
Mm-hmm.
And these sales caused, beef between the families because you wasn't really supposed to do that. These lands really weren't supposed to be sold. These heirs' lands.
Yeah.
So these niggas start illegally selling these goddamn lands. People start buying them, even the government. And they make these little things they call reservations.
Yeah.
And they put these strange looking motherfuckers on these reservations and gave them those names that our family
Yeah.
once had too.
Yeah. You're right. But in our case, my grandmother did tell us what happened with ours. They were burned out. They had to get out. They set that house on fire and they flee. They had to get out. They made them get out. They ran them out. And so that's how they ended up in Connecticut. They burned it down and they was hungry. She said that they were hungry. My grandmother wasn't born yet, but this is the story Grandma Fisher told her. And they came down to Connecticut. They were hungry because they got burnt out of everything. They didn't have no clothes, and only the clothes they had on their back. They had to get out.
But
Something
who
down.
burned it though?
There was a fight. They told them that they had to get out.
Mm.
So I'm thinking it had to be the county. Told them that they had to leave the land, and
So
they
where I'm at
wouldn't
though,
leave.
man,
So they set it on fire, and ran them out.
I realized down here where we was at, right? Once you look at the history closely, most of these wars, these
That might
so-called
be
Indian
some
wars,
karma coming
were
back, Sister
families
Betty,
going back and
because you
forth with
want
each
to
other.
burn people's shit out.
uh, I think Smoke gonna get ready to go live. I'm gonna make me some soup and get ready for Smoke live. I ain't coming on the panel though. I like listening to Smoke about this hour.
Yeah, I'll probably catch them boy a little later on once some boys stop arguing. I think argue all night, man. But sometimes they have a lot of information mixed up in that shit though.
But
So
they
you
be
know you got
funny. Sometimes I'll just get on Smoke panel and don't say nothing. Just keep it muted because you get a better. You can hear better when they're on the
yeah.
panel. When you're on the panel, sometimes I don't want to be in the chat. I'll just sit there and won't say anything just so I can hear Super and arguing. That
That's how I
shit
be
be
too, man. I just sit
funny.
back and
I
chill.
just sit back and listen because you can hear better when you're on the panel. Maybe that's what I'll do. I just come up there to sit and mute my mic. I be laughing at Superman at time.
I'm listening to them two jokey motherfuckers to damn near 4 o'clock
They
last night this morning.
crazy. I was listening to
And the
him
boy
too,
about to
but I
play the
just didn't
damn
say
little
nothing.
The boy was about to pay the damn little debate, man. And my fucking battery went dead. My
And
phone cut off. I'm
Anton's
like, man, fuck that.
and Nadi's goofy ass. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But I hope that Doris, that you, I know it's a 2-hour ride for you, come to our cookout on July 26th. It's a Saturday. Because that's where we are
Oh,
gonna
that's
be.
what I could do.
We're gonna be eating. I ordered some of Judge Joe Brown's barbecue sauce, so they're gonna be barbecuing. They be doing everything out there. Elise is making peach cobbler. Oh, we
Take
got a
So who's cooking
we
on the grill?
you gotta
Bap
write
is
Doris
supposed
a letter.
Bap is supposed to be making the ribs. Judge
Bap,
Joe
like
said he
Bap,
probably will come. Huh?
like Bap,
Yeah,
Bap,
Bap.
cooking on the grill.
Yeah. Bap.
Do that.
He said he has a good he knows how to really do ribs really great on the grill. So Bap is gonna cook the ribs. I'm deep frying the fish and the wingets.
Y'all don't got no
We
pork
could,
ribs, do y'all?
I don't know what Bap is gonna do. All we do as a tribe is just we cash up them the money to go and buy wherever him and Rocky are gonna get them from.
That's another thing about the
Doris,
South, man. We got meat markets.
But we have a
Oh,
fish market in South Carolina. It's in like a very rural area. I have the
there's a lot of
guy's
them around
name. It's in. I got
but
it in my
Doris
wallet.
can't come because he got an ankle monitor on.
here. Ankle monitor. Boy, listen, nigga. I'm 50
Smoke got
years
one
old,
on
man. I don't do
too.
none of that shit no more.
Smoke got
I don't
one
got
on
no.
it too.
Yeah, but I don't really need no. I don't got no ankle monitor. Them days is over with me, man. Like I said, I'm 50. I don't do no shit like that no more. To even have to worry about no fucking police and no ankle monitors and shit.
Willie ankles can't fit no monitor. They too big.
I'm
Shit, that boy
glad,
make
Doris,
one
you
for you.
clean your life up.
Kiss this supervisor tagging us. And Wolf ass have been a real instigator lately. Wait till I see his ass over there. Brown Wolf. His ass been and what is
Man,
wrong
believe
with
it or not,
Wild
though, man, I've been
Savage?
checking. I don't know what's going on with my man lately, man. I be trying
Wild
to stay out of
Savage
them
been
shit, man.
he just been trolling Wild Savage. That's why I be laughing at all of y'all.
Sometimes, man, listen, this shit is good to have something to argue about. Well, not really argue, but no fucking around the thing. But sometimes niggas be saying some shit, my nigga. So I try to stay out of that shit, man, because niggas be talking. I'm talking about like recklessly talking. I don't know where that shit start coming from. I realize that's a YouTube thing.
I
I
was
mean, when I
laughing at
first
the
came to
argument
YouTube,
with
man.
Wild Savage and A1. I was laughing. Them two crazy. That shit was so funny. A1 was saying something like, you don't nobody, you're nobody. Who are you? I
Yeah.
was laughing, so I say he's stupid as hell. He just kept saying, you're nothing, you're nobody. You're using the
Yeah.
person to have a reference. I was just laughing so hard. This shit was so funny.
Yeah,
But
remember shots out to both of them boys, man. But I would say
Shot
this though,
Stun's
man.
crazy.
Yeah.
I
I
like
would
when
say this
King
though,
Kaz
man.
come up on the panel. That shit be funny.
Yeah, like I said, I would say this, man. A lot of times the boy be tripping and shit, man. But sometimes that shit be getting too far. Niggas be saying some shit out their mouth that men don't normally say. And I remember when I first came to YouTube, the first argument I really got into was my man. What's my man's name is? Damn. Son Sanchi. Me and
Sachi?
Sanchi. Yeah. So listen, see, I
Sachi?
was
Oh my
yeah, man, I
God.
was new to YouTube then, though. I'm talking about this nigga had me to the point, nigga. I've been trying to find this motherfucker, dog.
Sachi.
Word, dog. That kind of shit, nigga. I got some
Sachi
cousins up
will
that
flip
motherfucker. I've been
out.
gonna cash
He
out
has
some
not.
fucking money but I realized, I mean, from experience now, that's how niggas do on the internet. So I try to
Oh, Sachi
stay
is
out of that
funny.
kind of shit, man.
Sachi crazy.
Then I fuck around, see a picture of that. I said, man, I know this nigga this ain't the Sanchi ever talking to me. Tell me he will come to Goose Creek and slap the shit out of me. I said, this motherfucker crazy, bro.
Sachi.
This
funny
motherfucker tell me, though, I'm gonna come down to Goose Creek and slap the shit out your ass.
Satchie.
This
Satchie
motherfucker
crazy.
crazy as hell, man.
Oh man. All right, love y'all, man. I'm about to get off of here. So I think Smoke is going live any minute. I hope he do, because
Yeah.
I'm gonna come on the panel and just mute my mic so I can listen, because I know it's gonna be a fight.
I'm going there above a little bit, man, and try to
All
stay
right.
out the way of them boy little shit, man. For some reason, Shine's son and OTK, these niggas got some
Oh God.
some shit going on. I be trying to stay out of that shit, but I'm going out there
I
fuck
don't
with them
know.
boy for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and listen to him on Smoke Channel. When Smoke go live, I'm gonna go live, because it's
All
about
right, I'll
third
see y'all
shift.
boy over there.
Superman, it's about to be his shift, so he's doing a little overtime today. I'll
I
be.
come to find out, I didn't know Smoke was Superman daddy.
I quit. I quit.
You quit your third shift job?
Yeah,
That nigga ain't
they
supposed to
even
be
paying
live no
enough.
more
Why you quit your third shift
Shut,
job, Super?
because he wasn't supposed to be on them internet no more.
Darvis, get out of town.
Nigga, you supposed to be out of town, nigga.
You
Sister
know you
Betty,
on third.
they try to plot against Superman, but the evil plan was foiled.
Who was plotting? Well,
Aton, Cosmo, and Jackie Brown came up with an evil plot against Superman, and it was
Oh God.
foiled at the end.
Hey y'all, when Smoke go live, I'm gonna let y'all know in the chat, so we could go over there. This shit gonna be funny. I'm gonna be on the piano because I'm gonna get myself comfortable.
All right, man. Peace, Queen.
Okay. Okay. Peace.
Superman.
I'm gonna finish up Buddha tomorrow. Karma, because
Yeah,
this was
man, because I missed the whole thing. When I came
yeah.
in, that boy really
Yeah,
changed the
because
subject.
Straight Smoke came up here crying, and he's the devil. Listen, don't let Straight Smoke derail your journey into Buddhism.
Should I start it from the beginning? Because I didn't get that
Yeah,
far.
man, because I didn't catch none of it. The whole
All right,
chapter covered.
I'm a text you, Darvis. Email you when I go live tomorrow, so I can
All right.
read it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
daughter.
start it from the beginning because it's really good and the conversation got touchy. So I'm gonna do it
Yeah,
again tomorrow.
Darvis.
Everybody's gonna be watching. I'll see what.
Darvis is the Buddha reincarnated.
I hear you, Clark Kent. All right, man. I'll see y'all boy over there, man.
Okay, see y'all. I'm going to Smoke Channel, y'all. When he go live, I put it out in the community tab so y'all can get over there. Usually I do a redirect, but he not live yet. So whatever. I'll do a share screen.
All
I
right.
don't know. All 1,466 goddamn people watching. All right. See
Superman.
y'all. We out.
Fuck you.
Y'all
Power
stupid.
to the people. Praise
All right,
Buddha.